What makes a villain a villain? Is it how cool they are? I mean, yeah, kinda. Or is it how bad they are? I mean, partially sure. But really, there are three things that make some villains just better than others. Number one, intimidation. You need a villain that's actually scary and not just, you know, a bum. Second, a worthy goal. You don't need a goal that viewers can sympathize with. I mean, you could have one, but it just needs to be a goal worthy of a great villain. Things like Token of the World and shit like that. And finally, they need to actually be evil, like genuinely frighteningly evil. Now, most villains check off one of these boxes, maybe two. But every now and then, a villain comes along who checks all three at the same time in every single scene they're in. When people think of One Piece villains, one that always comes to mind is Donquixote Doflamingo. And I'm going to show you that from literally his first appearance, Dofi is always doing all three simultaneously. Whether it's attempted genocide, overthrowing governments, and cracking princesses, this guy has done it all. He might be a true Avengers level threat. Let's get into it. So firstly, in Jaya, we see Doflamingo in the Jaya arc for the very first time at the Warlord meeting. And he's just aura farming, slowly walking to Marie's Rock. He owns the place. Talking about how he only showed up because he was just so bored. By the way, I'm glad they changed his design because this is just not it, dude, to be honest. And look at this guy, putting his shoes on the table, not a care in the world. Then Mihawk shows up and steals all of his aura. But here's what I want you to notice. Even after Mihawk stole all of his aura, Dofi doesn't get mad. He doesn't react. He just makes two random marine guys fight each other purely for the love of the game. That one moment checks all three boxes. Intimidation. This man walked into a room full of the world's most dangerous people and still had to be entertained. He's not threatened by any of them. Evil. He just made two guys hurt each other for the fun of it. Not for strategy, not for any reason, just because he could. Worthy goal. And this one is subtle. Dofi being bored at the Warlord meeting tells you his ambitions are already bigger than being a Warlord. He's not here for the title. He's here for something else entirely. And we're going to find out what that is. He doesn't react to the world. He plays with it. People aren't people to him. They're toys. And we're going to see that come back in the most literal way possible later on. Secondly, Marineford and his philosophy. So, Double D has bigger fish to fry than the Warlords. At the Marineford arc, once again, Dofi's not giving a damn. He's just chilling, digging for gold in his ears, while a war is happening around him. He then hits an absolutely majestic pose and cuts off Little Oars' leg. Whoa, I'm sorry, Ogre. Could you not handle my aura? He then controls a marine and makes him fight his own crewmates. Not for any tactical reason, purely because he finds it funny. Evil, check again. But then he drops one of the hardest speeches of all time. Pirates are evil, the Marines righteous. These terms have always changed throughout the course of history. Kids who have never seen peace and kids who have never seen war have different values. Those who stand at the top determine what's right and what's wrong. Justice will prevail, you say? Why, of course it will. There's no other way it could. Those who win the war become the justice. Whoa. Basically, the winners write history. And now suddenly, all three boxes are firing at once again. Intimidation. He just said the quiet part out loud in front of the entire world, and nobody can do anything about it. Worthy goal. This guy isn't just someone who wants money or power. He's a philosophy. He studied the world. He understands how it works at a level most people don't. He's going to use that understanding to take what he believes is rightfully his. Evil. He's not saying this to be a hero. He's saying this to justify everything he's about to do. And he's not exposing the system. He's planning to become the system. He's also an absolute narc. I mean, right after the speech, he asked Crocodile to team up. So while he is a warlord, he's really more of an opportunist. The warlord title is just shield to avoid the world government, while he does whatever the hell he wants. Oh, and at the end of the war, he jumps Gecko Moria with a bunch of robots and tells him the orders from his death came way up. So Dofi has connections, high ones. He's not afraid to use them. Next is Dressrosa. So after the Straw Hats get back together post-Marineford, they eventually meet Law, who tells them about Doflamingo and the Kingdom of Dressrosa, an island where Dofi is the king.
Oh
King
God.
Dofi. Oh, hell no! So Law and Luffy form an alliance, and we get to Dressrosa. And it looks like a little paradise. Bright colors, happy people, a beloved king, and that king is Donquixote Doflamingo. Yeah, I should already tell you something is horribly wrong here. At first glance, everything seems perfect. And you start noticing toys everywhere. Just random toys walking around, talking, living their lives like normal people, and no one questions it. And then you find out the truth. Those toys used to be people. Someone who poses Dofi, they don't just get killed. He turned into a toy. And the worst part, everybody forgets they ever existed. Family, friends, loved ones, gone. Not dead, erased. So imagine you have a family, you have friends, you have a life, and in 1 second, you're a toy, and the entire world forgets about you. Let's run through the boxes again. Evil. This isn't just murder. This is cruelty specifically designed to maximize suffering. Death would be kinder. He doesn't just remove his enemies, he unmakes them. Worthy goal. Dofi didn't just conquer an island, he built a machine. A whole invisible architecture of control, so airtight, the people living under it don't even know they're oppressed. They love him. This is really a goal worthy of a great villain. Intimidation. This is the scariest part. It worked for years. Nobody knew. It would have kept working forever if the Shrouds hadn't shown up. And it gets worse. While Robin and Usopp are snooping around Dofi's hidden port, it turns out he is running a slave operation with the toys. Oh, hell nah! Coups, murder, slavery, lock this man up without delay. So while Robin and Usopp were in the port, they actually got split up from Law, and Law was planning on sneaking onto this island called Greenbit, and then moving to destroy this Dressrosa factory that's making counterfeit Devil Fruits. And he basically hopes that if he cuts off Kaido's supply of counterfeit Devil Fruits, Kaido will come and slime Dofi for him. Clean, simple, but yeah, TS did not happen. Law gets separated from Robin and Usopp, and he tries to hand over Caesar to Dofi, but this just does not work, and Dofi comes personally to hunt him. But while Law is literally running from his life from Big Doflamingo, Nami, Chopper, Brook, and Momo start being loud as shit on the Sunny, and they start attracting Dofi's attention. So Dofi's like, whoa, watch this, Law, I'm gonna slime all your friends in front of you! Then he starts flying over to the Sunny, and all of the fish that are attacking the Sunny cower, run, and flee at the sight of Dofi.
I think we have a few minutes before he gets here.
He's about to destroy the Sunny. Thankfully, Sanji shows up. But when Sanji tries to fight Dofi, he gets his ass beat! So Sanji decides to go for the source of Dofi's power. His drip. And he's burning the feathers off Dofi's coat. $1,000 basically per head he's taking the value off his coat. And Dofi decides to Orifon. He freezes Sanji midair, does a flip for the love of the game, and hits Sanji with a critical hit. Then charges up a flaming whip to finish him off. But thankfully, Law jumps in and dodges the hit, causing Dofi to commit mass property damage. Now, pause. Why did Dofi go after Sanji at all? Why did he actually go after the Sunny? After all, Sanji's not the target, Law is. But Dofi was willing to kill Sanji purely to make Law suffer. He's not fighting for a tactical reason, he just wants to hurt Law. That's not strategy, that's sadistic. Evil, check. Still, intimidation, a man this powerful, who's also this petty, is genuinely terrifying. Worthy goal? I mean, yeah. Here, hurting Law isn't just random. It connects back to Corazon, to Dofi's backstory, to everything he's lost. His cruelty always has roots. That's what separates him from a goon, a gooner, as you will. Their fight ends with Dofi dumping Law full of bullets and dragging him back to the palace, floating in the air, by the way. Thankfully, though, Robin and Usopp turn all the toys back into people. And while Luffy's making his way to the palace, Kuros, who's formerly a toy, tries to kill Dofi. So right now, things aren't going great for him. So with everything going to shit, Dofi basically sits on the rooftop and says, "Oh well, guess I'll kill everyone!" And this, right here, is the moment where all three boxes blow up simultaneously. He uses his string power to basically create a birdcage around the island. Puts up TV screens and broadcasts everybody a message. "Hello, dumbasses. As you can see, I have trapped you all here. Unless you kill 12 specific bums who tried to oppose me, I'm going to slime all of you. But if you kill them, you get 100,000 smackaroos, and double points if you kill the long-nosed imbecile." He turns the entire country into a game show with a kill list. It's literally the Hunger Games. So intimidation, obviously. Nobody can leave. Nobody can get help. The Marines can't intervene. The cage is shrinking. There is no plan B. Worthy goal. This isn't a tantrum. This is Dofi's philosophy, made physical. I will burn everything down before I let you win. It's basically his whole philosophy. The birdcage is the worthy goal in its purest form. He'd rather destroy the island than lose control of it all. That's not just ambition, that's ideology. Evil. I mean, this one should be a no-brainer. He's forcing civilians to kill each other. And the Straw Hats. The people who've loved him forever, he's now turned on in an instant. He built a kingdom, he's now using as a weapon against itself. Then he sits on a palace rooftop, or farming in his chair, watching the chaos below like it's a Sunday afternoon on TV, watching Fox News or CNN, while also beating up Bellamy for the pure love of the game. And this is the moment. This is the most Dofy moment in the entire series. Why is he this way, though? That's the big question. We just said Dofy has reasons behind his actions, so why? We're gonna find out. So Law and Luffy eventually do reach Dofy and they start to fight, and Dofy's actually getting his ass beat. However, he does gain the upper hand, and Dofy begins a TED talk mid-fight about his life story, dropping hardcore lines like, "Daddy, where are the slaves?" and "Daddy, why won't they bow down to me?" He was supposed to be a celestial dragon, actually. He was robbed of his birthright by his dad, and since he can't have it, nobody gets anything. "Whatever happened to you bums is nothing compared to what I went through," says Dofy. We then get a flashback of Kid Dofy getting shot with an arrow, and adult Dofy sweating at the memory. This answers a question fans had for a long time. What's behind the glasses? I think it's pretty clear. The arrow connects to all of this. He has a lost eye. It's not like he has two perfect eyes. The glasses cover the one moment in his life where he wasn't in control, where he was just a scared kid getting shot at by a mob. And this is what ties all three boxes together in something deeper. The intimidation isn't just power. It's the performance of someone who will never be powerless again. Every pose, every speech, every aura form is a man saying, "I am untouchable." Untouchable to himself as much as to everyone else. The worthy goal. It's not just conquest. It's revenge on the world government, on the nobles, on everyone who made him feel like nothing. He doesn't want to rule the world. He wants to make the people who humiliated him kneel. The evil isn't random. It's a man who decided the world is going to be unfair, so he's going to be the one being unfair. He's internalized the cruelty done to him and weaponized it. After the flashback, he wakes up sweating, as aforementioned, puts the glasses back on, and chugs some wine. That's not a man who's unshakable. That's a man performing unshakable. And that one moment shakes him so much more, makes him so much more interesting than just a cool villain with a cool fruit. Quick side tangent. This video won't go too deep on Law because he's getting his own full video at some point. But basically, Law had a terminal illness as a kid, and Dofy was hunting the op-op fruit, which can cure any disease. So Dofy's own brother, Rosinante or Corazon, decided to save Law and steal the fruit from Dofy instead. As I said, Law will be getting his own full video, so he's not going to mention too much here. But unfortunately for Dofy, his brother was also a Navy informant, and he did get the fruit, actually. He was successful in finding it, but Dofy found out. And he slimed his own brother. Not even his brother was safe. This is evil. All the boxes are blowing up. Lock this man up, throw away the key, and destroy the building. So back on the rooftop, Dofy rips Law's arm clean off. And Trebles decides, and says he's gonna blow everyone the hell up. Thankfully, Luffy grabs Law and runs away, and gives him over to Robin. And as Robin is holding Law, Dofy swoops in and drops a crazy one-liner. "Nico Robin, the man's still breathing, isn't he? The love of the game calls!" Oh, excuse me? What? He sees Law with no arm, unconscious, half dead, and he still wants to finish the job. Evil, unwanted. Luckily, Cavendish shows up, and Luffy and Dofy keep fighting until they hit a deadlock. So Luffy pulls out the big Gear 4. And when Dofy sees this, he finds it absolutely hilarious. "What the hell is this? Are you gonna balance me to death? I mean, how? No shit!" He gets clocked and sent flying into a building. Childhood flashbacks kicking in. Then after that, he gets sent flying into a mountain, making a huge dent. And with that, Big Mingo has been defeated. And they all lived happily ever after. Nah, I'm just kidding. This guy's already getting back up. Look at his face. Look at all the peasants run. He starts walking through fire. Oh my gosh. walking through fire toward the people he's about to murder, slowly reclaiming his aura with every step. Intimidation. I mean, this should be obvious. Coming full circle here. From the guy who walked into Marie Joie, too bored to care, to the guy walking through fire because he refuses to lose. He is terrifying, not because of power level, but because he simply will not stop. He's unrelenting. Then Viola, God bless her soul, pulls up, thinking that she can stop Dofi. And look at him. Look at his face. He loves this. You always were a woman of passion, Violet. Whoa. Slow down. Stop the count. What do you mean by that? You were a woman of passion. Let's consult Oda-sensei. So in an SBS, Oda said that Violet and Doflamingo had an, quote, adult relationship. Going on to say, quote, Dressrosa is a passionate country. There's no way! Coups, slavery, murder, kidnapping, and now he's cracking princesses? Damn. That's tough to digest. But think about what this actually reveals, even with Viola. Someone he apparently had a real connection with, he still turned her into a tool, still used her, and is now, strings her up, and does the same thing to Rebecca, controlling them with his strings. And then he basically has Rebecca pull up her sword and starts taunting Viola with the thought of her cousin killing her. Whoa, what's that she's doing with that sword? That doesn't look safe at all. All 3 boxes one more time. The intimidation of a man who's controlling everyone around him. The evil of someone who he cared about is now being used as a weapon. And the worthy goal, because even now, even he's losing, he's still playing the game, trying to win on his own terms. This guy does not care about anybody else. Not his enemies, not his allies, not even his own brother. He killed him. Not even someone he apparently loved. Everyone is at peace on the board. And as he's about to literally make Rebecca kill her own cousin, Viola, who is crying. My gosh, this guy is evil. But thankfully, Luffy steps in. And it is time for a rematch. One Dofi will surely... Nope, he doesn't win. He gets clocked the fuck out and gets arrested.
That the United States would be prepared to take targeted military action.
Dressrosa?
He determined that the situation required.
The United States has been searching for
Dofi.
for many years.
Thankfully, he has been stopped. So let's go to the verdict. So does Dofi check the 3 boxes? Here's the thing. It's the wrong question. Because Dofi doesn't check them, he checks all 3 at the same time in every single scene. From his first appearance at the Warlord meeting, to the Marineford speech, Dressrosa, the birdcage, even walking through fire at the end. Every moment is intimidating, every moment serves his goal, and every moment is evil. That's what makes him such a great villain. Most villains are evil. Evil when the plot needs them to be. Dofi is evil structurally. It's baked into how he moves through the world, how he talks, how he sits, in a chair even. You can feel all 3 boxes in a single line reading. He's not evil because he's powerful, he's evil because he's deliberate. Every terrible thing he did was a conscious, philosophical, well-dressed choice. Dofi is an asshole and he knows it. He's so aware that he's bad and he doesn't give a shit. That's kind of what makes him a good villain. Throughout the whole story, I guess you could say, he knew exactly what he was doing and he loved every second of it. I'm Sora, and thank you guys for watching.